Charlotte said, "Hmm." Baby Just George leaped, ran out the window, ran out the carriage. Sorrows, press. Elderly pumping away. But he has a lot of tude about Charlotte. What are you doing? Wherefore art thou? Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Y'all, I am back after a long hiatus. So sorry. Had to take care of some life things. Thank you so much for being with me today. I really do appreciate you. Thank you for the new subscribers, even while I've been gone. I appreciate it. I feel the love. I'm sending it back to you. Thank you so much. Y'all, so today, as you can see from the title, we are back with the recaps. But y'all, Netflix series Queen Charlotte, a Bridgerton story, y'all. Netflix been having these series. I'm going to be bringing these recaps to y'all. I hope you guys enjoy it. Please do comment below. What do y'all think of this new series, Queen Charlotte? Like, I'm in. I'm hooked. Good. If you have not watched it yet, after this recap, like, go and watch it, girl. First of all, it's based on a true story. She's an actual queen who came from Germany, who was one of the wives of King George III. She had 15 children for him. She is mixed. She was like the first of her kind. The first episode, like, played no games. There's some shenanigans going on with the king. Queen Charlotte needs to know what's happening, but he's not letting her know what's going on. She was already hesitant. Then it was like, yes, love. Oh my God, maybe this is a great decision, being betrothed to the king. But then the shit crashed and burned like in 2.5 seconds after they got married, because shenanigans and weirdness and vague, like, just so much, right? So we're gonna get right into it. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more recaps. Go ahead and like this video as well if you're interested in this type of content, and also comment throughout the video as you please, as you see fit. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear from you. What do you think of the series? Did the first episode have you like, what's happening and what's going on, right? So episode 1 starts with Queen Charlotte kind of eavesdropping, sneak listening to or seeing what we find out is her brother signing her off to be married to the King of England. Charlotte is pissed and she's upset. This is not clearly her life plan. She doesn't want to be signed off to be married to anybody. She knocks down a statue, right? And runs off like as if they wouldn't know it was her. So sis is mad. She don't want no arranged marriage. Then the next scene we see is her basically in the carriage on her way to her marriage. So as she's off, she is stiff like this because she can't move, because the dress that she is wearing has been beaded and stitched and glass and jewels and all type of stuff in this dress, this exclusive dress that she's wearing to meet her new husband, the king, against her will. And she's clearly being dry and sarcastic, talking about if she moves, the dress might kill her because it's so sharp and so exclusive, right? And ultimately, she basically tells her brother that, I'm not doing it. Like, I can't. It ain't gonna happen. Turn this around. I don't really care. And her brother, like, tries to be patient with her and tries to reason with her, then gets irritated and is like, you think you have a choice, and that's the problem. I let you read too much. I let you learn too much, child. I let you think that you have a voice. Woo. This is original patriarchy, okay? I let you think that you have a voice, you have a choice, and you do not. I have the final say, okay? And then he leans in and is kind of more empathetic and basically explains to her that, look, you have no choice. Because Charlotte on the way is like, there can't be a good reason that I'm being married off to him. Why out of all the people would they want me to marry him? Like, obviously there's something wrong, right? So mind you, it is very, very clear that they're black, they're the minorities, they're different than the British, the English, whatever, right? That's a part of why she's like, I don't understand why. And her brother is like, look, they requested you specially, girl. We are just a small town in Germany and we can't afford to piss off the King of England because he runs all the things. So we can't afford to say no to them, and there are worse things in life than being married to the King of England. Like, do your duty to your country. I understand he don't even know why. It could be really bad, but it couldn't possibly be that bad because you're gonna be married to the King of England and you're gonna save us from possibly being in some type of turmoil or some type of war with them because we've denied their request. So child, she like, I guess. Let me lean back and look my best for this king that I'm just gonna agree to marry. Then they do a flash forward to older Queen Charlotte, where she's in her home, and some people from the palace wakes her up in the middle of the night out of her beauty sleep, honey, and tells her that there is a catastrophe, there's a tragedy, and she assumes that it is the king and the king has died. Why at this point you're not in the same palace or house as the king is confusion, right? At this point we don't know what's going on. Like, girl, y'all beefing, or is this like what's going on? But then also it's kind of like, you know, the royals are, based on the royals that we know, they're a little right? So I'm like, okay, maybe we're missing something, I don't know, right? And we also see it's in a rage situation, so what's happening? They break the news to her and she finds out that it's actually not the king that has died. They say that your husband is healthy and hearty and he's good to go, and she looks relieved. So there's like, oh, okay, there is like love there, okay. And then they let her know that it's actually her daughter-in-law, who's the wife of her son, has died giving birth. When I tell you, as a mother, really triggered me, because I'm like, the fact that we are risking, and I knew we are risking our lives. Like, people used to fully die giving birth. Unfortunately, the daughter-in-law and the child died giving birth. The son is obviously distraught. He can't even cry out loud. He's holding his mouth crying, and all Queen Charlotte has for him is sorrows, sorrows, prayers, sorrows. Baby, them sorrows and prayers. Listen, I could not. Then they show her driving away from the hospital. Essentially, this is not the first time this has happened. And what's being said, what's being announced in the news is that there is no legal heir to the throne. All of the other children are illegitimate children. That she herself, they've had 15 children. They said 13 at first, but then later on it says 15. 13 to 15 children they've had, and that there are no legal heirs to the throne. I guess she's known as some type of matchmaker at this point, and they're like, how is she a matchmaker if she's not even able to match her own children? She's not even able to produce us an heir to this throne. Is the legacy going to die with the king, right? We flash back to young Charlotte. So young Charlotte is meeting the king's mother, and she is giving very much European, snooty, racism, judgy, you know, just all the things that you imagine. Very much Rose's mom in Titanic, very much giving that very, let me evaluate you when I have my own issue. You're really here to do me a favor on the cool. So basically she's looking around, she's looking at Charlotte and she's evaluating her. Y'all, she said, oh, good, you have wide hips. You'll have lots of babies for my son. Got it? Like, you will have these babies. Not that, oh, great that you can have babies. No, you're having them. Charlotte is like, okay, girl. But she's already agreed, you know, she's gonna go with the flow. So she's being very courteous and polite. Y'all, the lady says, we have a dress that'll be tailored for you. And Charlotte says, well, girl, I have a dress. The dress is custom, it's beaded, it's from Paris. And she says, well, it's going to be an English wedding dress. It's going to be much more understated, very simple, classic, and that's what you'll be wearing to join our family. Y'all, this got me, because I was confused at first at what she was doing. Do y'all know this lady was trying to rub the brown off of Charlotte? Charlotte looked at her like, girl, huh? I thought she was trying to rub the mole off at first, but she was trying to rub the brown off. Y'all, and Charlotte is just taking it very graciously, looking at her like she has 3 heads. Her brother over there like, just smile and nod, girl, smile and nod. So, and I didn't know what to expect, like, because I have not seen any of the Bridgertons, y'all. So I knew that there was black people incorporated, but I didn't know if it was like Cinderella Brandy-esque, where she was black, but it was like not a thing. Like, everybody who was, you know, it was just mixed up and it just didn't make sense, but also we didn't care. I didn't know if it was that or if it was like, no, they understand that they're black and it's a thing. So y'all, so after the abuse, Charlotte is walking back to, I'm guessing, her chambers, or she's just walking around. And there's this man that's following her 5 paces behind her. She keeps trying to let him like go past her, like, go ahead. And he's like, no, girl, I'm behind you. Yes, I'm at your service. I'm always behind you. I'm always here for you. She said, well, why don't you walk beside me? He said, that's not how it works. Like, I walk 5 paces behind you, but I'm here for you at all times in the back. He says, yes. She says, okay, tell me about the king. What's tea? He's like, he's a king. she says, okay, I know that he's a king. He says he's the king like in 4 different ways, essentially. So throughout, he's very evasive, very elusive, vague about this king, right, that she's about to marry. So she's like, oh my God, what is this? What's about to happen? Because why can't y'all tell me about this king? Why is this such a secret? So then we move back to the king's mother, and she is meeting with her, we're gonna call them the palace people, right? Because I don't think they have formal names, but just, you know, the people that be in the palace. I guess like her advisors or whatever. They are talking about how brown Charlotte is. Hi, God. We've suffered. By the way, if you have not seen this here, Charlotte is light-skinned, red-boned. And they're talking about that she's too brown, like crazy, right? So they said, you didn't say she'd be that brown. The man is like, I did say she had more blood. And I'm guessing more blood means that you gonna be mixed with some brown. So he's like, well, I let you know, girl, but she wasn't a European like that. And they're like, you didn't say she would be that brown. And so the man sitting next to her, not sure what his position is, but he has a lot of tude about Charlotte. And he says, well, we need to do something about it because she is very brown and it will be a problem. And the man is talking about, well, is it too late to cancel? Is it too late to postpone or cancel or something like that? And she's like, hello, we cannot cancel the wedding. It's the day of the wedding. Today is the wedding. The wedding is here. And so he's like, well, people will talk. And so she says, well, the palace decides what the cool is. The palace decides what the trend is and what is a problem, what is not, basically. And if we don't make it a problem, the people are not going to make it a problem. Charlotte, she's brown, and we're just gonna have to get her some brown friends to join her royal court. Another one of the palace people is like, well, how are we gonna do that? And the mother says, well, it's not me, it's the king. I'm his mother, I say nothing, even though she's saying all the things. Is the king aware that there's only 6 hours to the wedding? And she says, oh, it's not gonna be that hard. Who doesn't want to come to a royal wedding? Which, true. So y'all, they go out and give invitations to all the blacks. They go out and slang invitations to all the black people that they can find, to the butlers, to the, you know, I guess regular folk, common folk or whatever, so that they can come to this wedding. They can be a part of the brown court, honey, because she brown, we browning, it's about time. Then filth, y'all. The most disgusting, repulsive. I don't know if it's makeup. I don't know if he really looks like that. God forgive me, but a disgusting man is getting his rocks off, becoming one with him. We find out it's his wife, beautiful, gorgeous young black woman, very brown, right? All the browns. And he is over there just elderly pumping away. The man takes his teeth out. The teeth that he takes out look like they're rotting in his head. His skin is leather. Like black people, we don't be getting leather skin. I don't know. She runs off to quarters or whatever to bathe. I think her name is Agatha. She gets titled Lady Danbury later, so we're gonna just call her Lady Danbury, child. So Lady Danbury, and finds out from her maid, I guess, that she's been invited to the royal wedding. And she's like, girl, we do not ever mix. Like, what are you talking about? They did not invite us to anything. Like, and they're like, no, girl, you are invited. Your neighbor's been invited. All the Browns are invited. And she's like, girl, I need to see this letter. What are you talking about? So then we're at Charlotte's fitting, and she keeps asking questions about this king. Is he nice? Is he dumb? Is he ugly? Is he a troll? Is he cruel? I can deal with this. I can't deal with this. Like, tell me something. They're like, no, girl, you're gonna have great babies. He's royal. He's a king. Like, they will not tell her anything. And Brimsley, who is her assistant, let's call him her assistant, who walks 5 paces behind her, is signaling everybody to shut the hell up. Okay? You say nothing but positivity, and vague positivity at that, right? Nothing specific. And she's like, oh my God, okay, so you gonna be with me everywhere? He's like, yes. She's like, I need to use the restroom. He's like, well, girl, I'm not gonna be with you to do that. Everybody skedaddle. So they leave, and Charlotte is on the run. Okay, so she's moving about. Then we move to the scene where the guests are arriving, y'all. So the brown guests who've been invited for Charlotte's court are arriving. So the mother comes to greet them and is like, isn't it about time that we've integrated? It's the new wave. It's all the rage. Welcome, 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 and all the things, right? And she says, because you're going to be a part of the royal court for Charlotte, you have to have titles. So she gives him Lord Danbury, the old, elderly, disgusting man, and she gives the wife Lady Danbury, child, and they are just Lady and Lord, whoo. So they are just excited. So then we come to Charlotte escaping, basically. So Charlotte has run outside and she sees this garden wall that leads to the outside of the kingdom. Y'all, Charlotte like, I got to get out of here. They're not gonna tell me what this king looked like. He's obviously a troll or a beast or something. I have to get out of here. I have to go. But Charlotte can't climb this wall. She's trying to figure out how to climb this wall. So Charlotte is trying to get over this wall. And so a gentleman comes up behind her and is like, what are you doing? And he says, you're doing something. She's like, nothing. He's like, girl. And she's like, well, if you must know, I'm trying to climb over the garden wall. And he says, so you're trying to escape? She says, yeah. Okay, you caught me. Yes, I'm trying to get the hell out of here. He says, why? In so many words that, well, I can't do it because obviously he must be a troll or a beast because nobody will tell me anything about him. Nobody will give me any details. So he must be horrible. Why is this such a secret? And I'm about to marry this person, right, y'all? Well, she's like, can you help me get over the wall? Like, I'm trying to figure out how to get over the garden wall so I can get out of here. I finally told you. Can you assist me? I'm a lady in distress. Help me get over this wall. She says, no, I'm not going to help you get over the wall. I would help a lady in distress, but not when she's trying to climb over a wall to get out of marrying me. And she's like, your highness. Mind you, this young man is very, very handsome, very charming, very much not giving troll, not giving beast at all, giving Prince Charming. He says, my name is King George. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, your highness. Good. I would never call you a troll. And she keeps calling him your majesty. He's like, it's just George to you. Obviously it's your majesty to everybody else, but to you, George, just George, right? She's like, well, I don't know anything about you. I don't know you. He's like, I don't know you either. He's like, what do you want to know? And she says, I want to know everything. He's like, damn. He runs down the list. He fences where he got his scars from, and he was born premature and almost died, but he made it. Nervous about marrying a woman that he doesn't really know. He says that she's beautiful and breathtakingly beautiful, that people may actually have a problem, like just smitten with her. They're smitten with each other, like they have like a cute little moment, you know, like a meet cute. So then her brother comes out of nowhere, leap Jane, like, girl, where the hell have you been? We've been looking for you. What are you doing? Wherefore art thou? Where hath thou been? He's like, well, your majesty, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She's very excited to marry you. And he's like, no, she's not sure. And he's like, yes, she is. And he's like, no, she's not. And it's entirely her decision. But if she does decide, I'll be in there waiting for you. I'm gonna be next to old boy. She's just... So y'all, they walk down the aisle to each other. They have a beautiful moment. They lock eyes, romantic eyes and the loving eyes, and are comfortable and say the vows. And they are officially King George and Queen Charlotte. It's beautiful and cute. We don't hear nothing that they talking about, but it's okay. We can imagine. Nobody needs the boring ass wedding stuff anyway, right? We get the picture. They head to their reception, right? So the reception, they dance a beautiful, I don't know what it is, waltz or whatever they be doing. So then she meets some of her court, right, on her way out. So she meets Lady Danbury, and Lady Danbury lets her know that, you know, she's a part of her court. Charlotte says, oh, we'll be great friends then. And she says, if you ever need me, you can call me, and be very, very careful. And she probably means like, be very, very careful, sis. They just started wanting to be acquainted with the Brown. So be careful. And so she's like, okay, got you. So then King George says, Charlotte, I have a surprise for you. And she's like, this is a surprise? And he's like, yes. He's so excited and he's smiling. You know, surprise is great on your wedding night, right? Ciao. So King George's surprise is they go in the chariot and they drive over to this home that he has bought and renovated for Queen Charlotte, right? For them. But no, it's not them. It's not their home. It's for Queen Charlotte to come and stay by herself. And she's confused because she's like, oh, our home, right? And he says, well, I suppose it could be our home, and the home over there on the other side of town is also our home, but you're gonna stay here. She says, so where are you gonna stay? He says, well, I have a place over in Q. And she's like, I don't understand. Are you not staying here? Are we both staying here and in Q? What's happening? He says, no, you're staying here. I'm staying in Q. She says, but I was told by my governess that, you know, it's our wedding night. Don't we need to do what people do on their wedding night? Consummation. He's horrified, terrified. What are you talking about? Absolutely not. No. And she's like, we need to do what married people do. That's what married people do. He says, are you ordering me to do my royal duty? She's like, no, I'm not ordering you, but it's just something like we're supposed to do. Like we're supposed to, be together. So he's like, fine. And you would have thought she told him to dig a grave or something. I don't know. He said, fine. He walking in, all the guards and everybody clapping and all this stuff. And apparently this is not new because the looks on all the guards are looking like, oh, here we go, right? So she walks in and she's like, well, I don't want you to do it if you're gonna have this attitude like I'm confused. Did I do something? Did I say something wrong? He's like, no, I just want to go to Q. And he's like, you just want to go over there? Okay, then let's go together. He's like, I want to go by myself. You don't want me to go to Q. And he says, I just want to go by myself. I don't understand why this is such a big problem. She's like, is this how it's gonna be? Us married, me here and you there? And he says, yes, it's for the best. And she says, that doesn't make any sense. You need to explain to me what is going on. You have to. And he says, I don't have to do anything. You respect me. I have the final word. I'm your king. Charlotte said, I beg your pardon. I'm sorry, Your Majesty. I thought you were just George. Baby, just George leaped, ran out the window, ran out the carriage. Ain't no just George. And she was like, I'm sorry. She said, like, it's okay, Your Majesty. Like, fall back. I'm good. It's cool. And he's like, trust me, it's for the best. And then he leaves. Like, what? Leaves her there on their wedding night by herself in this renovated ass enormous palace with staff and everybody to go back to Q by himself. Hello? So what was all of this charm and all of this? Clearly there's something wrong, because the look in his face, it wasn't even so much like, I actually don't want to do this. It was fear, like fear in his eyes of like, no, like we cannot. You know what I'm saying? We flash to older Queen Charlotte. So older Queen Charlotte is fed up and she's meeting with her kids, right? So y'all, she meets with the kids, whether it's the 13 or the 15 children child, after the death of the other son child and wife. And she says, I am sick and tired of y'all. These people are on my neck about this royal baby, about an heir to the throne. It cannot die with your father. She says, I don't understand how I ended up with all the boy children are whores and all the women are virgins, can't find a man, and all the men, the only women that they can find are whores and side women or women that are already married to impregnate and have illegitimate children that cannot be heirs to the throne. So y'all got a bunch of babies. They got all kind of babies all over the place. I think 30 children, they said, something like that. Not one is legitimate, and the only one that would have been legitimate passed. And every time she says that, the poor man starts crying. She talking about sorrows, press, sorrows, press. Oh my God. I'm like, girl, you can't even pay him on the back good, child. So she says, I'm sick of y'all shenanigans, and me and your father managed to give 15 children to this royal hood. Then y'all can give us one royal baby. It is not difficult. Even the one of the sisters that's married, she says, are you sure that you putting it in the right place, girl? Because clearly you ain't got no baby. I need one of y'all to make me a royal baby. And so that is how episode 1 ends. I am still yet to find out what is going on with King George. Clearly something is happening with him because the people around him didn't want to tell her anything. They didn't want to inform her of what is going on, and he looks terrified in his face. Like if you see, even when he's angry, like it's out of fear of something, like he wants to, but he cannot, like expose her to something. What do y'all think it is? If you have seen it, don't spoil it. But if you haven't, what do y'all think it is? If you've only seen episode 1, what do y'all think it is? What do y'all think of the series overall? So go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the post notification bell so you'll be notified when I post episode 2's recap. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.